Point is, call me for a free strategy session at 561-702-3986. That number again is 561-702-3986. I look forward to speaking with you. In the world of UV and sunless tanning, there is one company that stands tall over the competition. This company is the Boca Tanning Club. Exceptional customer service and top-of-the-line technology has led the Boca Tanning Club to be declared the #1 tanning salon in all of Florida. When you visit a Boca Tanning Club, you are treated to a tanning experience unlike any other. You may choose our UV tanning or spray tanning services, or our exceptional UV-free spray tan. For UV tanning, we use only super beds, the most advanced in the industry. Indeed, one tan in our exclusive super beds is equal to 4 tans at a competitor. Keeping your skin looking beautiful with less exposure time ensures you're beautiful today, tomorrow, and beyond. Come to our Boca Tanning Club at 1390 Brickell Avenue, Suite 106, inside the Pacific Bank Building in Miami, Florida. Our phone number is 305-381-7826.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hi, this is Faith. Welcome to the Faith Washington Show. I invite you to join me every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We will discuss life, business, leadership, family, and fun, and what happens when your view of the world expands. A wide variety of guests will provide insight on how they do business, family, and leadership in their lives. So now, here's today's show. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on the Faith Washington Show. We are live streaming on Facebook at the Faith Washington Show page. We're also on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, and we are also on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome, and I want to welcome my wonderful guest, Dawn Graubart. Thanks for coming, Dawn. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm sitting in a hole.
No, you aren't.
I need a phone book.
I think we need to grab your purse. We'll
I need a phone book.
Do we have a phone book, anybody?
Us wee little people over here.
Oh,
it's been a long day. By Thursdays, it's like we're just keep going.
You just keep going and going. Up since what, 5 or 6? Something like that.
I think so. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for
love our
coming.
Thursday night lineup, right? We have the best lineup.
We do. Becky, Lisa,
you. It's like a party every Thursday night. Do you know we have so much fun that they want to have every night like that here in the studio?
That'd be great. I would love it. That would be so much fun. Yes, definitely.
It's a party every night.
Folks, I am a professional life and business coach. My entire life has been spent as a pharmacist, and I transitioned last year into this particular career. And I just love helping people reach the next level of their life. And Dawn does coaching of sorts too, health coaching.
I think I need more than a 30-second elevator speech.
Yeah, I think your 30-second, I think you need to give your own elevator speech, because Dawn is a woman of many talents.
Thank you.
And she has done so many things in her life. She really is an amazing host on the Brooklyn Cafe, which runs every day, Monday through Friday, from noon to 1 o'clock. And she and Freddie Santori run that show, and it gives amazing information and amazing insight into people. So give us a little bit of information about you.
A little bit about me.
A lot. Either way.
But I love what I do. Is I've been so blessed to take all of my passions of, I'm now 50, so all of those many years of experiences and culminate into what I'm now doing. So way back in the day, I was a communications broadcast major. So who would have ever thought
that you went
going forward, here I would sit. And then I moved into Masters in Special Ed, and I raised my children, and I did PTA and volunteering and health and wellness and pediatrics. And then suddenly I got a platform that enabled me not to talk to one person or one family at a time, but 60,000 people a day, and come back to what we do and talk about health and wellness and women's empowerment and giving back and extension and clarity in all good ways. So we use social media for positive instead of some of the negative things we see it for.
Right. We see way too much negative. And I think that speaks volumes of who you are and what you're committed to. You're committed to positive change, positive force in this world, so that other people will be able to use their gifts and talents. And I think that you give people the freedom to do that.
Yeah, and you do that as well in what you do. If you can give people, as a coach, if you give people the space to be who they are, instead of so stuck in their hole of who they think they can't be,
Right.
I go, you can. And
Or
we
or
sit,
that people tell them
Right?
that they should have been, or they should be, or this is all you can be, and that, we know that's not true.
even with our kids, and we do so much with women's empowerment. We met with a school today about starting an internship. And it's not only about empowering the kids as a whole, but really talking with the girls. And I know the men out there, you're going, what about the boys? I know the boys have things too, but the girls, if we can break them out of that particular mold of I can't and the self-deprecation that so many of these kids are doing, and we can get these girls saying I can and I will, then they at 50 won't be where some of these women that we work with are. They'll be already be empowered to share their message.
Exactly. I think that's just such a great point to make. I think women and girls are so much harder on themselves and have deeper insecurities just by virtue of the fact that we are somewhat delicate. We have emotions and
Fragile flowers.
And sometimes we're fragile. Okay, we don't break. We can bend, but
Just emotional.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being emotional. It's a beautiful thing.
We've talked about so many things. You and I were talking outside about balance.
Yes.
And how do you find balance as a successful, growing businesswoman,
Right.
mother? You may not even be in business, but how do you find balance in what you do to be you and you don't lose your sense of self?
Yeah, I think it's a choice, obviously. It's a choice to be balanced, to put your family in there and your career and your friends. And we talked also about self-care, which I think is incredibly important. Dawn and I both work out and take great care of ourselves because we know that life's a marathon, and that without that self-care and that outlet of physical fitness, we wouldn't be the same people.
And it's not only the outside. I mean, you want to look good,
Right.
You want to, but you want to feel good.
You feel good because you feel great inside and outside.
Right. So what does it do to your mind when you work out? You just put on your headphones, and I've seen you working out, and there is no talking to Faith at the gym. You would not even recognize her.
I'm a hot mess.
Hot maybe, but not a mess. I mean, you have your long sleeves, your hair's in
Yep.
a bun, you've got your headphones on, and you were like, do not talk to me. You're in your zone, but there's a reason you do that.
It's my time. That's self-care for me. That is my outlet for any stress that I might have.
But look what it shows your daughter.
Discipline. Gotta be disciplined.
And you matter.
Yes.
That you matter. So what do we need to show our kids and our significant others, whether you're a male or female or whoever your significant other is that, honey, this family matters, but I have to matter too, because if I think I don't matter, I cannot do what I need to do on both sides.
Agreed. Yes, I
Whoever
believe
that other side is,
the other
everyone
side,
needs it.
the other side, the spouse, the significant other, whomever, if they're not taking care of themselves too, then they're going to not feel as good. They're not going to be as productive. I think that's your responsibility. Taking care of yourself is your responsibility. And it does show our kids the discipline and just that ability to focus. You focus on that area. You focus on doing food. You focus on doing your business. You focus on the house has to be taken care of. Teach your kids young. Teach them to do the dishes, to pick up after themselves. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect by any means.
It's never perfect.
Do the laundry. Fold the laundry. Do these simple little
It
tasks.
really doesn't matter if your shirt is folded
Right.
perfectly or
Nope.
what. If it's clean, you go to school with clean clothes, or you know what?
You don't.
And you go to school with dirty clothes.
And people
But those
tell
are your
you
choices.
So you smell bad. That's
Those
not
are
a good
choices.
thing.
And you
Right.
know what? If your floor is a little dirty, and I'm sure my husband is laughing right now because I am like the Swiffer queen. And
Come to my house.
We had this whole discussion. He says, why do you Swiffer every morning? And I said,
I do too.
I do it for you. And he says, you do it for me.
What's wrong
Why
with
do you make the
that?
bed? I go, for you. He says, well, I don't care. I go, really? I'm done. I
No
said, if you
way.
don't care, I am not Swiffering my hair off the bathroom floor every morning.
Oh my goodness.
Because I was doing it to hopefully, keep the
It's
house in between
kindness.
doing everything.
It's a kindness to the people that you live
And
with.
if he doesn't care, well, maybe we're down to once or twice a week, but it is not an everyday occurrence anymore.
Good for you. But look at the communication that you
Right.
had with your spouse, and you made a choice. You made a choice that's good for you, and it's good for him because he's not pressed by it.
I'm not
Why-
selling the house. Who
Right.
cares?
Why should you be pressed by it?
Right?
That's balance. See, to me, that's balance. You have to pick your spots and not get all uptight when things are not all perfect, because they're not ever going to be.
And even your kids, I'm a big believer that if your children are able to get dressed multiple times a day and come home from school, change their clothes, go
And
to
throw
work
them all
out,
over.
and
Yeah.
change their clothes, then they're capable of washing them, because
Yes.
it's not a scrub board. You stick them in the washing machine with a cup of detergent and you pull them out.
Yes.
So I'm a big believer in that. And people say to me, why? It's not perfect. I'm not asking you to do my clothes.
Nope. Do your
your
own.
clothes.
That's right.
It can sit in the dryer and be wrinkled until I need the dryer. I mean, I'm very clear in my house. But you said your daughter does laundry, and
She
she's
does.
how old?
She's 12. She's 12. I taught her to do the laundry. So she washes her clothes. When she's done, she shakes them out. She goes and puts them on the little rack or puts them in the dryer. And then when she needs them the next day, if her gym clothes aren't clean, she makes sure that she gets them done, because she knows mom isn't going to remember to do her clothes. And that's good. She needs to understand that responsibility. It's so incredibly important. And that builds self-esteem.
And mom might remember, but it's the message of educating
Right.
them to think for themselves of
Right.
what they need to do.
Yes. Because they're going to have to take care of it eventually anyway. If you use those building blocks and teach them from the very beginning, that builds that self-esteem. Then they're secure. Then they know, wow, I can do this. I can do a lot of different things. Stretch them. I'm like, she's prepared dinner like twice after
Nice.
my shows. Do you know how nice it is to have her do that? And she's so proud. Wow. This child is so happy to have prepared this yummy meal of kale and chicken, and it's
Wow.
delicious. Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. Amazing is right.
But
Got to
if
come
they-
over.
I'm coming for dinner and a drink. They go, when do you and Faith start drinking? I go, Thursday. We've got
Thursday.
the 24-hour window of you can just splurge. So we go Thursdays to Fridays.
You're so funny.
It's all good, though. But if they can be successful at home with trial and error,
Yes.
because everyone fails. What is it? You can
We
fail
do.
forward. Someone today said failure is just experiences in a different way. If
Mm-hmm.
you can learn from that, like, so you bleach your clothes, you put in the wrong. So you know what?
So what?
You buy
Don't
a
do
new
it again.
T-shirt and you don't do it again.
But yes, I think that does teach them that it's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up. We all mess up. It's part of life. And if we don't mess up, I don't want to be that person who's never fallen. What are you going to learn?
You never learn.
You don't learn if you don't fall down.
What do you think it's like to, and you've done so many things. You've got more degrees than people even possibly know, because someone says, well, Faith does this, but Faith's also a pharmacist. Really? But Faith does this. How do you be successful as a woman and feel okay with it? Or don't you?
Sometimes it's difficult.
Why do you think that
It
is?
is a challenge internally, because there's sometimes the thought of, wow, do I really want to be super successful? Am I going to lose my family? Am I going to lose my identity because I'm driving for something? I think there are a lot of internal blocks. I think we also have perceived external blocks. And we talked about that before the show. Sometimes people may not like you because you're successful or because you're striving to do something different. They want to put you in a box. And as you always say, line forms back there.
Haters behind me.
I love that.
Haters get in line. And you know what? Every day there's a new line leader.
Right.
It just depends on the day.
But those folks that feel that way, you and I both know that is an insecurity within their own heart.
I was going to ask you that. They say it's not what you do, it's people's reactions to what you do. It's how they react. So if you, and I'm a big believer as you are, I am, of spreading love and kindness and doing everything I can with the best intentions. I may mess up, but it was not my intention to hurt you.
Exactly.
And
Ever.
if I did, I apologize to everybody up front, but it was never my intention to come and hurt you. It's always about love and being gracious and kind.
Right.
But there are people who don't want that. They're
Right.
like, why you? Why are you successful? And I'm not.
And sometimes it's just simply because they don't see themselves as being capable or maybe even desiring to do that. I don't think everybody should desire the same things. I think that everyone has their gifts and talents. That's the one thing that I'm really passionate about. Give of your gifts and talents. Whatever your strengths are, live into those. Don't worry about what you can't do,
Well,
because
why do you think-
no one cares anyway.
Why do you think women have a fear of being sick? Men don't.
No, because they're groomed and pushed towards that in our society. And I don't think that women are necessarily groomed and pushed towards that. I don't think that that's the norm. I think so often it's, even years and years ago, it's maybe less so now, but it's just part of our culture. It's an ingrained way of thinking and being. I think
It's
that has a lot.
success.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with
It's
it.
business success. So then we talk about what defines success.
Right. We talked
right?
about that before. Yeah. Success is different for every person.
Right.
You know?
It could be financial to you.
Could be.
It might be raising a family to somebody else. It could be,
Spreading
you know what?
positivity
Spreading
and
positivity,
love.
or just getting out of bed every day. Just having the confidence to say, you know what, today's a bad day, but I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to take
Do
a
it.
shower and get dressed.
That's right.
Whatever it is, it's that next step of success. You can't measure anyone's
Nope.
success by somebody else.
Nope, you can't.
And
And you
that's
can't
judgment.
compare.
Right.
That's judgment. When you compare yourself to other people, I think very often with social media, it's very easy to do that. It's very easy
You
to
think?
sit there and scroll down this or that or the other thing. So you got LinkedIn, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got Instagram. You're looking through these things and seeing what everybody else is doing. Frankly, if you care about that, then you're less focused on who you are, who you're being, and who you're capable of affecting. And I think that when we focus on what our gifts and talents are, it brings us right back into that. There's your own success. Your success and my success don't look the same.
No.
I wouldn't ever expect them to. But it's wonderful that we get to cross paths.
Well, as women, we can
and
support
work
each other.
together. Yeah.
And this week, we've got to go work out with Becky and Boca at this new
It
workout
was
place.
really fun. Kiara, we had fun.
We went in these pods. We went into an oxygen tank. I got oxygenated. But you know what? A nice, fun girls' day out. And talk about success. There were 3 hosts from this station.
Right.
And we all went to one client. And we all supported each other to help this client. It wasn't about taking someone else's client. It was about helping them grow their business and
Right.
have fun.
Exactly.
And if you can go have fun with your girlfriends and support each other, it's not always about the money. It very rarely is about the money.
It very rarely is. I think that money comes when you're doing the right things, when you are being in integrity, when you keep your word. This is something that I like to speak with clients about. Keep your word. Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're not going to do something, don't do it. Just keep your word. That's what integrity is. And that gives you clarity in life.
Someone said to me, so I keep saying, I need to do this, I need to do it. And she said, you need to set a date
Timeline.
and do it. She said, for yourself, you need to set a date. So you don't come to me next Monday that you've been telling me for 3 months you're going to do something.
And you didn't do it.
And you didn't do it. She said, just for your own clarity, get that albatross off of you and set the date for yourself that you're going to do it. Like, yes, my taxes will get to the accountant by next week. But all of those things that hang over you and they rent space in your brain,
They do. They take up way too much space.
right?
It doesn't allow you to think clearly. That's where clarity comes in. When you focus on the truth, and that's all you focus on. Everything else is ancillary. If you know that this is what you need to do, it's the one thing you do. You dive into your day, like attack the morning, and get things done. Take that from Craig Ballantyne's The Perfect Day.
Get it done. One step at a time. And sometimes it just means getting out of bed.
Yep.
Sometimes you just want to pull the blanket up over your head and say, I am done today. But that one day leads to another day. And next thing you know, you're a week in bed or you're a month without a job.
Yep.
And we talked today about it. People aren't knocking at your door and saying, oh, Faith, please come work for me. If you're home,
Nope.
Unfortunately, a lot of times, unless you've got good friends and support, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Agreed.
And girlfriends hopefully come and pick you up
Take
when
that
they
first
can.
step. You got to
help yourself.
You got to help yourself. You have to take action. You have to take massive, determined action, even if like you said, it's just crawling out of bed. But you take that action and move forward. Fail forward.
Fail forward.
Who cares? Does anyone care? No, because you know what? No one else is thinking about you but you.
There you go.
You're thinking about you.
Right.
Okay, I'm not thinking about you. She's not thinking about you. We're not. We're not doing that. We don't have time to think about what everybody else is doing or worrying about
You know,
it.
and I really hope that our kids' generation, and it spans a lot of years between your children, your daughter's age, and my kids, and everything in between. And social media has changed, and expectations have changed, and it's me. It's that immediate gratification of me. I was even joking with someone today. Getting my Keurig to brew now takes too much time.
Oh, that's pathetic.
But you're
Really?
sitting here thinking, and you used to be able to just pull a whole coffee pot out, pour your cup in, and put it back into a brew. Now you're waiting for that whole cup, and there's a line at work waiting for the Keurig machine. And you're thinking, wow, what has this come to that my Keurig takes too long to brew? But that's just
something. But that's something to think about,
Right?
In our now. Yeah. What about me?
Well, that's the kids. It's everyone's got this R&I entitled to ABC.
Right. And you talked about that today on your show. It's not good.
Well, how can you, and this is what we talked about today, how can you teach and educate either our peers or our children about gratitude versus entitlement? How do you shift that mindset?
LBE, simple.
LBE.
Lead by example.
Oh, nice.
Lead by example. That's one of my favorite terms, LBE. I like to lead by example. If I can lead without saying a word, it's going to stick because someone is going to see me repeat it over and over and over. Like going to the gym, getting up, you brush your teeth, you do your morning ritual, you eat breakfast, you start your day and you work really hard. My daughter's going to see that and say, you know what? This is workable. This is doable. I can do this.
And just say thankful and be gracious.
And be grateful. Be grateful that you have a business, that you have people that you get to affect, that you have listeners, that we have listeners tonight. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to us because we really appreciate it.
We had someone call today and he said, I am never in my car during lunchtime. He said, I happened to turn on the show. He said, and I love your message. He said, I am 59 years old, and he told us all about his story, and my girlfriend is 45. And I think we got a proposal on air. He said, I'm going to propose to her. He said, this is where the ring is, and this is what I'm going to do.
Nice.
And he said, thank you for helping me see everything she has said I needed to do. It was almost like we validated everything that his girlfriend had said. He heard it. He said, thank you for sharing your message.
Beautiful.
And it's about gratitude.
Yep. It really is. Everything in life boils down to love and being grateful. Grateful for your family, grateful for your friends, grateful for the people that you get to work with that are pleasant and loving and kind. And it's an amazing journey.
You know what I said today? I said, I'm grateful that I've got my health, that I can walk up these 5 flights of stairs.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Beasley, for my workout tonight.
We definitely came up the stairs. Now we have to go down the
But
stairs.
I was walking with someone. He said, oh, my gosh. I said, you know what? But I guess the upside is we are grateful that we have enough health that we can walk up these flights of stairs and we can handle it. I said, so there's the silver lining in that one. And now I don't have to go to the gym.
It's a beautiful thing. No, you still can't. You cannot get out of going.
5 flights of stairs in my high heels. You know what? We should do a workout program in high heels. Can you imagine?
Yes, I
what
can.
What a good butt lift that would be.
I can run in these shoes. You know? I'm not going to show them to you, but I can run in these shoes. They're 5-inch heels.
It was like like we did the other day at that pod place.
Yes, that was interesting. Can I mention the name of the
Of
place?
course.
Figurella. Becky and Dawn and I went into Figurella, which is right there next to Chops Lobster Bar. I have to tell you, it was really fun. You get heated up in the pod, and then you do this workout, and it's great for your hiney. I will tell you that.
I think
Definitely.
It's like a combination of the Jetsons meets 50 Shades of Grey. Because you go into a heated pod, and then there's straps with wires, with coils. So there you are getting hot in a pod with your friends, and then you have to hold on to these straps, and then there's the wires. But it was so much fun.
Your description.
Am I right, though?
Priceless. It's priceless.
Jetsons with 50 Shades of Grey. I know everyone's going to want to go check it out.
You should. It was really a very fun workout, and we had talked about that. A great girls' day out. Girls' Day, evening, whatever time you can get together, and 3-4 friends just go and hang out.
And then you go get oxygenated, and then you can go for lunch next door. They'll bring food in. It's a great
excellent lemongrass is right there.
Lemongrass is right there. Chops is right there. Go at night. Go for happy hour.
There you go.
And you can take a shower there too.
Yes, they have a really nice facility. I mean, it's quite beautiful. Just go and walk in and check it out. Kiara is the manager, and Tanina, I think, also was one of her right-hand people. So.
But just spend time with your girlfriends and empower each other. Instead of knocking everyone down.
Exactly. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Let's empower each other.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
I think that, once again, it speaks to the insecurity within individuals. And you know what? Our job is to lift people up. We're here to lift others up and make them feel great about themselves. so that they're able to go out and interact.
And that's when you know who your friends are.
That's very true.
Whatever stage of life it is, when your friends come to your rescue and you don't hear, and I had one friend said to me, if you don't hear from me for a couple weeks, reach out. She says, it means I'm in a very bad, dark place, and I didn't reach out to you. So if you don't hear from me, reach out to me. And sure enough, she'd had her foot run over by a car, one of these incidents, and it was my birthday. She wanted to let me know, and I finally got over there. She needed a shower chair. And I said, it's the craziest thing is I have a shower chair that I bring from house to house because so many people have been injured. So whatever it is, even a little shower chair, she was grateful. Just the company of sitting with her because she's non-weight bearing.
Yeah, and just reach out. You know, something,
Right.
If you're hurting and you're having issues, reach out. Please, 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 folks, don't just be miserable and alone. Reach out and ask for help.
You know what? Call Faith. Call me. Call anyone.
Yeah.
Just reach out.
561-702-3986. 561-702-3986. You can find me at Faith Washington, the number 4, the letter U, Faith Washington for you at gmail.com if you want to email me.
So I think that's the best message that we've shared today is
Yeah.
no one is ever alone. And if you're actually ever feeling that you just have nobody, reach out to someone, reach out to Faith.
Right.
Reach out to some of these social services. It's anonymous. There's so like Rails Jewish Family Services. They're there to help everyone. You do not have to be Jewish. There's so many organizations. Your church, Unity,
Oh, my goodness.
Calvary.
Calvary, absolutely. They're churches.
You know, they're
they're
non-denominational
synagogues.
for help.
Everywhere, people. Please, please, there's no reason on this planet for anybody to be alone or to feel alone. If you do, it's a choice. You don't have to keep making that same choice. You don't.
It's the ripple. You know, we talked
That's
about
right.
when
Pebble-
you throw
pebble
the
in the
pebble
pond.
the ripples, but the ripples are your choices going forward. And they're never, your choices, someone said to me today, are never the same.
And you know what? They don't just affect you. They affect
That's it.
every single person around you, either for the good or for the not so good.
I love your LBE. Lead by example.
Lead by example.
Be for you and be for your family.
Yeah,
Teach your
absolutely.
kids.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, folks. We really appreciate it. Dawn and I are grateful, aren't we? We're
Oh my
grateful.
gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you.
We love you. All right. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 7:30. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You've been listening and watching The Faith Washington Show, where we have widened your view of the world. Our guests share their business, family, and fun life hacks to make your world better. Hope you've learned something to apply to your life and business. And join me every Wednesday night at 7 p.m.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.